Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm gonna do a pretty basic DIY video on how to change the oil on a car. It's a pretty generic video, so you should be able to apply this to just about any car. Although there will be some differences in this car. You know, this car is a 2013 Dodge Challenger, so the way the oil filter works on this one is a little slightly different than what you would expect on any other car. However, the process is mostly the same, as well as the measurements and all the stuff that goes down. Just gonna give you a quick list of the supplies that I'm using. You know, I have my oil pan here, my oil collector, which is where you're gonna store your old oil. I have two rams here on the bottom to lift up the car. You can use a jack, but I prefer to use a stand. It's easier. You have a funnel to put the oil in. There's different brands and different sizes for oil filters, so make sure you get the right one. I went with Mopar since it's a Dodge, and it usually runs with Mopar, but there's Fram, there's all these different kinds. I also bought Marvel's Mystery Oil. Why I use this is because it helps lubricate the cylinders and everything inside. So there's a formula to it. I think it's about 25% of your oil should be Marvel's Mystery Oil. So you just kind of have to calculate. So I'm going to use this whole can. Sometimes you might have to use two if it's a bigger car. You also have to know what oil weight your car is. So mine's a 5W20. You know, there's different ones. There's 10W30, different kinds. You can look that up in your manual. It's pretty easy to find, and I should tell you exactly what it is. I'm using a full synthetic blend, so that means it's really thick, kind of like honey. It's really good. It's better for lubricating and stuff. But there's different kinds. You know, there's high mileage, low mileage, all types of oil, different brands as well. So I personally used Mobil 1 or Valvoline. However, this one was on sale at Walmart, so I pretty much just bought this one. Another thing that you're going to need is your tool set, you know, with your sockets. This one I know already, it's a 15mm over on the bottom bolt and 3/4 on the top. However, you know, all sizes differ, so it's important to get the right measurements. So the first thing you want to do is obviously get your car lifted up. You can see I have it here on my stands, on my ramps, I'm sorry. And the next thing we're going to do is just kind of take out the dipstick, which is this one right here. There's two different kinds, so make sure you get the right one. There's one for your transmission and there's one for engine oil. So look for the one that says engine oil. You're going to take it out and have something to clean up the oil with in handy. I have just a normal towel. So I'm going to take it out, and it's really easy to read your oil. So you can tell this one's already very old, ugly. So I'm just going to go ahead and set it here, right? You're going to leave this out for the rest of the oil job. And you're also going to take your oil cap off. This is to ensure the proper airflow and everything just kind of flows out easily down the bottom. So now let's go down to the bottom and check it out down there. Okay, so this part of the process is identifying your oil pan and where your drain plug is going to be located at, right? So for me right here, this is my oil pan. As we can see, the bolt is facing this way. You know, usually you'll find on trucks or other models that have more space underneath, you will probably find the oil pan somewhere around here, and it'll be facing that way. However, mine is this right here, and so this is the bolt that we're going to unscrew. It's usually located kind of at the tip, so it will be easily identifiable. So I'm going to go ahead and get the socket and take this out. Alright, so something you want to do is kind of set your oil pan right underneath, you know, where it's all going to be falling in, right? You don't want to make a mess, have everything fall onto your concrete. So just kind of set it to where you believe. It's usually going to have kind of like a momentum, so it's going to push a little bit. So I would usually set the bolt almost aligned with this part right here. And so we're just going to unscrew this bolt now. Should be fairly easy to unbolt it. Sometimes it's really hard. You know, what I would recommend in that situation is kind of heat the bolt a little bit. You don't want to be stripping it, or else you're going to have a really hard time. So we're going to take this off and just kind of let the oil drain. And this is kind of why I wear my gloves. Alright, so at this point, the oil is probably most likely about done draining itself. We just still have a little bit of something running down, but you know, won't really make a difference with the new oil coming in. So the next part is we're gonna go ahead and put the bolt that we took back in. We don't have to tighten it at this moment, just we don't forget to tighten it at the end. You know, I like to just kind of hand tighten it as much as I can, and I'll tighten it after we're done. This is where I told you it was going to be really different. In traditional cars, you will most likely find the oil filter lined up maybe somewhere around here or off to their side. It's really easily distinguishable. It's a round cylinder, and most of the times it should be hand tightened, so you should be able to take it off by hand. However, you know, sometimes you will need an oil wrench, which you can get pretty much in any AutoZone or Walmart. However, in this car, as I told you, it's located up top, so we'll go ahead up to the top and see what we're working with. Okay, so as you can see, I took off the cover of the Challenger here, and this is where our oil filter is located. This is going to be a 15-16 bolt. I already have everything set up, and we're just going to go ahead and remove that part. Pretty basic, should be pretty simple to remove. So we're just about done taking this one off. We're just going to go ahead and finish unscrewing it. Should come right out, and as you can see it right here. So, you know, this is our oil filter. Let's go ahead and over to the pavement so I can show you what we're going to do here. Alright, so in instances with these oil filters, what you want to do, they should come in with a little rubber, I forgot what this, bushing, that you're going to go ahead and put on the new one. First of all though, we go ahead and take out this new one, which should be able to just pull out. It should be that simple. You can see it's a little oiled. No good anymore, right? So we're going to go ahead and put this new one in. And there is a proper way to putting this in. It should tell you right here. So it says this end down. We're going to go ahead and put this one. My mistake. You know, with the prongs, we're going to go ahead and insert those. And you should hear it click. Once you hear that click, it's because you know you're good. And this is that little bushing that I was talking about. What you want to do is you want to just kind of pull it out. And I think the best way to do that is using a screwdriver. So I went ahead and got my head a flathead screwdriver, and I'm just kind of prying it out. Should be able to come out. And there's the old one. A good technique that we like to do on these ones is kind of just dip them in the old oil. You know, give it a little bit of a better sensitivity, same as well here. Then we're going to go ahead and insert it. Same way the other one came out, right? Should be a little bit easier though. Then we're gonna, it should set right at the bottom. There should be a gap where you know where the other one came off of, and you should be able to put it right back in there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this right back in the car, screw it on, and we'll be able to throw our oil back in the car. I got my filter here. Just gonna go ahead and insert it, make sure it goes right down the middle, and just kind of screw it back in. So it should be a little bit hand tightened, good enough. Right now we'll finish tightening everything up. Right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the oil hole. We're gonna go ahead and put a funnel, the funnel that we got from the beginning, and we're gonna pour our oil into the car. Process. We're just gonna go ahead and throw the new oil right down the funnel. You want to go ahead and make sure to take it slow. Don't want anything to spill. Make sure that you get as much oil as you can, right? And so my car uses 6 quarts. I'm gonna do 5 quarts. You know, this is 5 quarts, and I'm gonna use the last quart of the Marvel's Mystery Oil, like I told you before. And it's just the same way. You're gonna go ahead and get your oil, your Marvel's Mystery Oil, open it up, and just pour it in there. And I kind of like to leave the funnel there, just kind of draining every other fluid out while I tighten out this bolt and the bottom bolt. You know, the final thing, once this is pretty much drained out, you just kind of want to go ahead and take it out. Just finish out the rest of the job. So we're going to go ahead and close it up with the cap, the oil cap, back on. We're going to throw our dipstick back where it needs to go. Before that, we'll go ahead and clean it out. So we're going to check our oil right now. And for this car, I'm just going to go ahead and throw the top of this back on. And looks like that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. Thank you.